We're going to take some questions from you guys out here in the audience. Let's start with, do we have a mic for them? Let's start with you in the front.
Now that you're all wonderfully successful, was it easy for you to, you are, was it easy to go back to that experience of being a struggling artist?
The question was, now that we're all really successful, was it easy to go back to being a struggling artist? Mark Ruffalo, is it easy to go back to being a struggling artist?
It wasn't my favorite place to be, so it's not easy to go back to it. No, yeah.
Can you tap into those feelings though pretty easily to play these roles?
Yes, yes.
Adam and Keira?
Yeah, I'm an actress, so yeah.
I'm an actress too.
Yeah, you're a lovely actress.
Thank you. This character was kind of in the midst of becoming successful too. So it was kind of a very specific time. When it happened to me, I was probably tempted by some of the same things that he was, and granted, my story is very different than his, but it was very easy to tap into what it was like to experience all these things that we never expected to experience. When you commit to being a musician, I don't think you're really sure that you're never going to be able to pay the bills. I don't think that you care about that as much as you care about playing music. So this guy was just overwhelmed, and so was I. So it's pretty easy, actually. I believe that has something to do with why John called me, is because very few people get to experience those things, and I think he thought I'd be able to articulate it on camera. And I think I did a good job, but like I said, it was all him telling me what to do the entire time.
Did you say yes right away when John called you?
Oh, yes.
Yes, you.
Adam, I wanted to follow up with that. How did you relate to the character? And now that you've gotten a taste of the acting bug, where do you want to take it? Do you want to do more?
I have no idea. All I know is it was really fun. It was a dream experience because I don't think I could have gotten, and this sounds really kiss-assy, but I'm really not. I love these guys, all of them, and they were so nice. I had no scenes with Mark, and the first day I got there just to try clothes on for the film, he was just so welcoming and warm and sweet. So and John and everybody and Keira made it easy, and it was just one of those things that was, I don't think it can get better than this, so I might not ever make another movie, actually, because there's no way it could surpass this as far as how much fun I had. It was a blast. But I really don't know. I hope there's more.
It stops being fun after the first time, by the way.
Okay.
And as far as the
Okay.
character, how did you tap into it and relate to it?
I tried to kind of pretend. I wanted to pretend like I wanted to treat this guy like a totally different person, even though it was impossible, because I literally don't know how to act. So I was like, okay, some of me is coming out here. It's not impossible for that not to happen. But he was, like I said, there was a very specific point in my life that I've been talking about all day, actually, referring to this character, where I thought, oh my God, I've made it. There were 50 of those moments. I've been so fortunate in my career that there was a time probably in like the early 2000s when someone told me our album went platinum, and I said, "What? Are you kidding me?" And that was when I partied too hard and did a lot of stupid things, and that was part of who Dave was, was that guy.
Yes, you in the red, and please speak into the mic. Yes, that would be great. Thank you.
So, Mark, you've actually had some experience in doing a film that dealt with a rock and roll element. And John, you've got your experience. But can you guys talk about, and Keira, the three of you talk about what references you had in mind, particularly for your character and your character in terms of, you're a pastiche of a number of producer, label founders that I could think of. And similarly, there's people I could think of that, have a stripped down sound like you had in your character. And of course, you had people in mind. Can you talk about the conversation you had?
I think that I had a really good conversation early on in this process with Mark years ago. If you remember, you were shooting somewhere, and I was in Ireland, and I couldn't believe that I had gotten your phone number, and I rang you up, and we had a discussion about this part and the character, and we ended up talking a lot about 1970s movies and films that we sort of loved, and it's sort of a tone of kind of, I think we talked about like Pacula, is that the way you pronounce his name? And the French Connection, Gene Hackman, weirdly to try and sort of find this A&R man or what this sort of vibe might be like with this guy. and a bunch of sort of like late 60s, early 70s films, as in terms of references of sort of, you know, the kind of the, there is a bit of Peter Falk about this A&R man, I've got to say.
But did you have musical characters you read about or thought about?
I didn't. No. I mean, we just sort of. It wasn't based on anything for me. I mean, we just sort of worked on it from a character point of view of going, this is somebody who doesn't like performing, so that kind of instantly didn't have to have that sort of razzmatazz kind of quality to it. You know, this was somebody who really liked being in the background. So it was sort of more about thinking about that as a character and then kind of just finding what would work from there. So it was very much from a character point of view. It wasn't really based on anybody. For me, I don't know whether you had somebody in mind, but.